Welcome back to Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the digital airwaves of YouTube.
Damn, so that was just the intro? All right.
That was a 10-minute intro to a 23-minute video.
That's crazy.
Not an efficient use of time.
It's time to tackle a subject that I will openly confess I'm not very comfortable tackling. Because I understand where people are coming from, and I don't want to give any extra shine to whatever perspective they have on Mr. Shannon Sharpe himself, but I have no choice. Now, some people would ask the question, why is that? He's a grown-ass man, so are you. He's doing his thing, you're doing your thing. I will remind you that Shannon Sharpe is a major contributor to my daytime job, which is First Take on ESPN. And to be quite honest with you, we've grown to become friends. I got a lot of love for the brother. I respect the hell out of him. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion. He's a Hall of Famer. And the reality is that he's doing big things. You can say what you want, but 68 million views for the Cat Williams interview is 68 million views. The first order of business with Monique in this interview in day one, with it being 5 million views, ladies and gentlemen, that's over 73 million views. You can say whatever you want to say. You just can't take away from that reality and what Shannon Sharpe has brought to the table.
It sounded like he getting ready to hate.
Yeah, he big hating, bro. He big hate.
He already throwing a little slight shade, you know what I'm saying? But like he really about to go in and start hating in a minute. So I think this is the part of the clip that people have been talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The flip side to that, however, is that when you do interviews of this nature, we've heard noises emanating from our community because both of us are black men. I'm from the North New York City. He's from the South. It doesn't matter. As black men, as brothers, as black people, what Deion Cole alluded to on numerous occasions in terms of negativity selling, in terms of us going after one another, what Chris Spencer alluded to when he talked about how nobody does this to one another but black people.
Stop with that nonsense already. Oh my God.
What do you call the Democrats and Republicans?
Exactly.
What do you call the media? The New York, literally, it's the career of the New York Post to write hit pieces against people who are not white and people who are enemies of conservatives. Like, seriously, what are we talking about here? What planet does Stephen A. Smith live on? Does anybody know? Anybody know where he lives at? Because it's not Earth.
Literally everybody of all racial groups is exposing their own within their own group on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? Here's the truth about what's going on here. Here's the truth about what's going on there. I don't even think I very seldom even come across a video where like a non-black person is making a video about something that's happening within a black space saying, here's the truth about what's happening in that black space. Everybody speaks on what's happening in their own sector. Like, so Monique and this whole ordeal, nobody's doing anything wrong. And this is not something that's exclusive to black people to air out the truth concerning shady business that's happening behind the scenes in like Hollywood or wherever the case may be. That is just such a stupid talking point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's big facts. Shout out to Jay Bird for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate it, bro.
It's inescapable. It's a reality. And so as a result of that, I have to answer questions because people have literally asked me, Stephen A., what do you think about how Shannon Sharpe interviewed Cat Williams and Monique? What do you think about the pushback or lack thereof? Why give somebody the platform to come out on your show and say all the things that they said?
Hating ass nigga.
What else is he supposed to do? What did he say? What was said that shouldn't have been platformed?
The purpose of platforming somebody is to let them speak their piece, especially when you're talking about Cat Williams and Monique, who are clearly blackballed and censored out of the mainstream. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's actually doing like, you know, the good work of holding up the banner of free speech.
Yeah,
that's what Shannon Sharpe is doing. This is called free speech. What Shannon Sharpe is doing. Yeah. Oh, you guys have been blackballed. Let me give you an opportunity to speak your piece, so people can actually make a decision. Stephen A. Smith is just mad that Shannon Sharpe apparently is off code on their side of the tracks. You know, with giving these folks an opportunity to speak where they should be silenced.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's what it sounded like to me.
I mean, this is what you call this is what you call good journalism.
Facts. That's what Shannon Sharpe is doing to me.
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I said those were not legitimate questions. I'd also be remiss in neglecting to inform you that I personally asked Shannon Sharpe to come on this podcast and discuss it. To his credit, although he's not here, he was willing to come on. He just had other commitments because he knows I'm his brother and I'm not trying to backdoor him. And I'm going to say something that a lot of people are not going to like. I don't believe that Shannon Sharpe is just an entertainer. I believe he's a voice. He's a voice in our community that is elevating by the day. He matters. And because he matters, with that level of significance and cachet comes a level of responsibility, some would say. But when you do it to the point where you're trying to act as if he shouldn't have them as guests, or somehow, some way he could have curtailed or edited out what they've said, I'm not going to go that far. Shannon Sharpe is under no obligation to edit or alter genuine thoughts that his guests have on his shows.
Can we stop
If
for a
that's how
second?
they feel, that's how they feel.
Yeah.
So what's the point of this rant then?
Exactly.
This could have been over with, and we could have been on to the next video after 14 minutes and 7 seconds.
Yeah, this joint running long. 23 minutes and 10 minutes was an intro. Come on, Stephen A. You killing it.
Right. But seriously, he literally just went on this whole giant rant to then turn around and say that what was said on the podcast shouldn't be edited. So what is he saying then?
Well, he's trying to play both sides as far as I'm concerned. He wants to show that, like, as far as his paymasters are concerned, you know, and as far as, you know, those on that, you could say the Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry side of Black Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to show, hey, I'm with y'all, but at the same time, I'm trying not to look like a coon for the general Black population. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to play both sides. You know what I'm saying? I'm still with y'all, but I'm not a coon.
Thanks. Hey, shout out to KO Kid Fit, part of the Reacts team. You know what I'm saying? If you want the link, bro, I'll shoot it to you in the DMs. KO Kid Fit said, I'm kind of surprised he ain't tooting up. Facts. Facts. If y'all agree with KO Kid Fit, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Facts. I'm surprised he ain't tooting up. Actually, he probably is, though, for real, because he said something about the back door. He did say
right. I ain't trying to backdoor Shannon. Oh, you tooting up, huh?
Yeah, tooting up, huh? You know what I'm saying?
Now, would I have been a little bit different? Sure, because I'm a trained journalist. And as a result, the level of pushback that I would give, I'm seasoned and trained to do it, spanning 30 years. When Shannon Sharpe was on Club Shay or Nightcap, rather, weeks ago, and he said to Chad Ochocinco during one of his telecasts, I'm not Ed Bradley, the late Ed Bradley, God rest his soul. I'm not 60 Minutes. I'm not 48 Hours. I'm an entertainer. My only retort to him was that you're not just an entertainer, you're a voice. And take that voice into consideration whenever you do whatever it is that you do, so you're never telling somebody that you're just an entertainer.
Well, it sounds like Shannon Sharpe has turned into the voice of the voiceless. So, I mean, he's actually doing a great job at this point.
Yeah. And again, I don't understand this rant that Stephen A. Smith is going on. He's basically saying you shouldn't do any of the stuff that you just did, but it's perfectly okay that you did the stuff that you just did. Like,
once again, playing both sides. Playing both sides.
Yeah, facts. Shout out to KO Kid Fit. He said, nah, I'm Omega level goating today. Hey, I ain't mad at it. We had to change to the podcast goat up there. We got KO Kid Fit.
He said, I'm Omega level goating today.
Omega level goat. We got the podcast goat in the house. KO Kid Fit. We lit. You know what I'm saying? Derek.
KO Kid Fit said, y'all go ahead and run me my ducats.
Right. That's hilarious.
Because you're more than that. Outside of that, I have a very, very, very difficult time looking at the day and age that we're living in, seeing 68 million views here, 5 million views there, over 73 million views for just 2 interviews, and asking somebody to ignore the significance of that, knowing most people wouldn't. Because that's being full of shit. That's not being authentic. Most people wouldn't ignore that. Now, again, I would have pushed back on Cat Williams on several things. Because the personal in which he went about the business of highlighting his attacks and illuminating his attacks against Kevin Hart, against Steve Harvey, against Ricky Smiley, Cedric the Entertainer, Michael Blackson, and others, I would have wanted receipts. I would have had to dig a little more. That's just me.
Here's the real question here, right? Because clearly Shannon Sharpe's platform is an open platform for you to come speak your piece, and he's not going to push back. Just go ahead and say what you got to say. The real question is, why won't any of these people that have been spoken about come on Shannon Sharpe's platform to speak their piece and to say, hey, here's the real truth? And I say that the reason that they're not doing that is because there is no real truth for them to say, here's the real truth too. The truth has already been stated, you know what I'm saying, by Cat Williams and Monique. And now they're just trying to, put the flames out. Right. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure Shannon Sharpe will leave the floor wide open for Kevin Hart to come on his show, or Steve Harvey to come back on his show, Cedric the Entertainer, and y'all have the floor to say whatever you want. Get it off your chest. They won't do it though, will they?
Nope. And on top of it, they, on both interviews, the invitation for certain people to come on there and have a conversation has already been put out, if you guys recall.
Facts. And I agree with Cameron Jones. Cameron Jones said he mad his views was like 500. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. I think there's a lot of jealousy there come from Stephen A. Smith. Because you see, Stephen A. Smith got his own, he got the Stephen A. Smith show channel. And it does well, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Because Stephen A. Smith is good at what he does. For as much critique as we can have towards him today, and over all the other things that he says, he's still good at what he does. You can't say that he's not. You know what I mean? But Shannon Sharpe, not only did he eclipse Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless isn't even a thought at this. Skip Bayless is just like in the dirt at this point, metaphorically speaking. But at this point, he's kind of lapping Stephen A. Smith a couple times over. And I think Stephen A. Smith is seeing that, and Stephen A. Smith doesn't like that.
Well, Stephen A. Smith likes to work and make his boss happy. Shannon Sharpe is his own boss. See, there's a difference. So Stephen A. Smith, we're looking at two different things here. We're looking at an employee versus a boss.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Big facts.
Me. That's just me. Steve Harvey's a friend. Kevin Hart's a friend. If they came on this show right now and they were talking about Cat Williams in the fashion that Cat Williams talked about them, I would have grilled them. Because when you sit in front of this microphone, in front of this camera, my belief is that in pursuit of truth, you have to be objective. Now, you can be subjective once you receive the truth about how you receive it, how you interpret it, how your perspective is, and what you disseminate to the masses. That's fair. But in pursuit of the truth, the objectivity has to come raining through.
So where was there not any objectivity? Where was there not objectivity? Because none of these people, this isn't a closed conversation. It's not, Cat Williams said this and then that's it. Monique said this and that's it. And then also there was people who came on Uncle Shay podcast, if I'm not mistaken, that actually said things about Cat Williams and that actually said things about Monique. Now, my question is, doesn't Stephen A. Smith think that they should be able to respond to some of the things that were spoken about them?
Exactly. Because Stephen A. Smith ain't come to nobody. He ain't come to Monique and Cat Williams' defense in any time. Whether it's retroactively or in real time when they've been spoken ill against.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've never heard him say anything.
I never heard him say anything either. Except for all this nonsense and mumbo jumbo that he's doing right now. Moving around like a rodent all fast.
Like Shannon Sharpe didn't do that. I respectfully disagree. I think he just did it differently than most. When Steve Harvey came on his show, they said what they wanted to say. When Cedric the Entertainer came on the show, they said what they wanted to say. When Cat Williams came on the show, he said what he wanted to say. When Monique came on the show, she said what she wanted to say. We don't know what level of veracity and truth is attached to any of their words or lack thereof, and we have to be real and authentic in that regard.
Yeah, the double talk is crazy with Stephen A. I don't know what side of the fence he's on at this point.
Which double talk you talking about? You talking about him just going back and forth and like saying things that contradict her when he said authentic? Which one you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. His flip flopping. Are you mad that Shannon Sharpe dropped these interviews, or are you not mad? Are you mad at Monique and Cat Williams got the freedom of speech to say what they want, or are you not mad? Like he's just, I'm not following him anymore at this point. You get what I'm saying? Because the contradictions are crazy. You say one thing and then you turn around and say the complete opposite.
Bro, that's why he starts skipping like a CD, because he don't know what he's talking about. It done fried his own brain trying to keep up with what he's talking about.
Facts.
But when somebody wants me to get at Shannon Sharpe, it's not happening. I'm going to support my brother. Even if I think he's wrong, I'm still going to say it, but I'm going to support him anyway. Meaning letting him know I'm always going to look out. But in this particular instance, I think the eye is being pointed in the wrong direction. So many people want to sit up there and talk about, people were famous for doing this to me, coming to me and having expectations they wanted to heap on my shoulders. Why? Because guess what? Now you in this position, Stephen A. But what the hell did you do to get me here? When I was scratching and clawing and climbing my way to this position, where were you then? You didn't do anything for me then, but when I got there, all of a sudden I owe you and us something. Because I'm in a place you ain't.
What is he saying? You just how does he? He's saying once I become who I become, now I owe you and us something. But yet you're starting out your argument saying that this looks bad on quote us as a people. See, like you see how he keeps contradicting himself like crazy. So does us matter or not? Is this bad on the black community or isn't it? Do we owe each other or do we not owe one another? What is this man talking about?
What is he talking about? Does anybody know what he's talking? If anybody knows what he's talking about, please tell us, because I don't know what he's talking about. I'm lost.
I don't know what this man talking about.
The only thing I can follow is those roadmap lines in his forehead. That's about it. Other than that, I can't follow anything else. I don't know what else is going on.
Facts. I don't know what this man's talking about at this point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nah, I'm not going for that. So in that regard, I'm not going to engage in condemnation. But I did feel a need and an obligation to comment because so much stuff is being said about this man that works with me 2 days a week on ESPN's First Take. And I had to let everybody know where I stood about the man that I brought in to sit across from me 2 days a week.
Once again, you see how he's black peopling and black community this and us and that. No, he's talking about his self and his position within the entertainment industry and the relationships that he has with the gatekeepers of Black Hollywood.
Right.
That's the issue, the scrutiny, and that's coming down his way because now, I see what's happening now. They looking at him and saying, hey, that's your man's, ain't it? Didn't Skip Bayless throw him in the trash and you said, no, he good. We can bring him over here. And now he tripping. You see what's happening now? That's what's really going on. That's what's really going on. Not everybody, on that side over there in the entertainment business and Hollywood, Black Hollywood, whatever, they looking at Stephen A. Smith like, hey, I thought he was going to be a good boy. Shannon's not playing ball, bro. He not playing ball. And you're the one that co-signed him. He did. Stephen A. co-signed him to come to ESPN and to have him link up with Disney and all that type of stuff. And now Shannon done, I guess, went off the rails and now it's coming back on him. Like you referred Shannon, didn't you? That's you, right? Stephen A. scared.
He's scared, bro.
Look at the look on his face on where I paused it at. He looking like, damn.
Yeah, he's scared. You know what I'm saying? The dog got off the chain. You know what I'm saying?
The dog that got off the chain and came off the leash now.